Watch first to understand. Listen again to remember. 8 easy English stories. Story 1. The Lost Wallet. On Monday morning, the train station was crowded. People hurried to work, and announcements echoed on the walls. Maya held her map and checked the schedule on her phone. When she looked down, she saw a brown wallet on the floor. No one was near it. She picked it up and opened it only enough to find a name. There was an ID card for Luis Ortega. Maya walked to the information desk. "Excuse me," she said, "I found a wallet." The clerk smiled and took her name and number. A few minutes later, a man ran up, breathing fast. "Did anyone find a wallet?" he asked. The clerk asked for his name. "Luis Ortega," he said. He described the wallet: brown leather, a bus card, and a small photo of a dog. The clerk returned the wallet, and Luis's face relaxed. "Thank you," he told Maya. "You saved my day." Maya laughed. "It was lucky I saw it." "Where are you going?" Luis asked. "To Greenfield," Maya said. Luis noticed her map and pointed. "Your train is on platform 2, he said. "I take that train every week." They waved goodbye as Maya walked to her train, happy that morning rush could still be kind. Story 2. Phone left behind. John was halfway to work when he felt his empty pocket. His phone was on the kitchen table. He didn't have time to go back. The bus was already turning toward the city. At the next stop, a woman boarded and sat next to him with a laptop bag. John asked, "Excuse me, could I send one quick email from your phone? I forgot mine." She nodded and handed him her phone. He wrote to his roommate, "Can you bring my phone to the cafe at noon?" Then he thanked the woman and gave her phone back. At lunch, John ran to the cafe. His roommate waved from a table with 2 coffees and the missing phone. "I guessed you needed caffeine too," the roommate said. John laughed. "You guessed right." Later, he left a thank you note and a small chocolate bar for his roommate. By evening, the small problem was only a story to tell and a reason to check his pockets before leaving home. Story 3. The Midnight Train. The late train left the city at midnight. Jin sat by the window and watched the lights fade behind tall buildings. He was tired after a long shift at the restaurant, and the train car was almost empty. Across from him, a woman sorted papers into a folder. Next to the door, an old man slept with his hat over his eyes. At the third stop, the woman with the folder hurried off. A moment later, Jin heard a soft sound from her empty seat. It was a phone on vibrate. It had slipped into the gap between the seat and the wall. He picked it up and saw a message. "Taxi arrives 12:30. Are you here?" The lock screen showed a picture of a small boy with a blue kite. Out on the platform, the woman froze and started patting her pockets. She looked back through the glass. The doors were still open, so Jin stood and held up the phone. The woman's shoulders dropped with relief. He stepped out to return the phone. "Thank you so much," she said. "I'll catch the next train," Jin said. She smiled and handed him a business card for her print shop. "We make posters," she said. "Come by for a discount." Jin rode the next train home, later than planned, but smiling at the quiet chain of help. Story 4. The Street Musician. Rain started while Raoul waited for the bus. He moved under a cafe awning with 5 other people, each quiet, eyes on their phones. Under the next awning, a street musician opened his case and took out a violin. People glanced up, surprised. He began with a slow tune that sounded like falling water. The notes were soft, bright, and steady. A child tugged her mother's sleeve and pointed. A cook stepped to the cafe door, holding a tray, and listened. The bus schedule screen flashed red. Delay 15 minutes. No one complained. The musician changed to a faster melody. The child clapped to the beat. Raoul felt his shoulders relax for the first time all day. When the song ended, the small group under the awning cheered. The cook placed a warm muffin in the violin case. Raoul dropped in some coins and nodded thanks. The bus finally arrived, and the group climbed on in a good mood. As the bus pulled away, the musician waved with his bow, and the rain slowed to a quiet mist. Story 5. Snow Day Neighbor. It snowed all night. In the morning, the street was white and quiet. No cars moved. Sonia put on boots and gloves and took a shovel outside. She cleared a path from her door to the sidewalk. The snow was heavy, and her breath made small clouds. Next door, Mr. Clark, an older neighbor, opened his door slowly. He looked at the thick snow on his steps and shook his head. Sonia waved. "Do you need help?" she asked. He smiled and said, "If you have time." He went inside and came back with a bag of salt. They worked together. Sonia shoveled the steps, and Mr. Clark sprinkled salt so the ice would melt. A boy from the corner brought hot chocolate in paper cups. By noon, the sidewalk was clear enough to walk. Mr. Clark went inside and returned with a small bag of oranges. "These were on sale," he said, "and you earned them." Sonia laughed and shared the oranges with the boy. The snow still covered the roofs and trees, but the 2 houses looked warm and ready for the day. Story 6. The Little Plant Shop. Nora needed a gift for her friend Sam. She walked past a small plant shop with bright leaves in the window. Inside, the air smelled fresh, like rain. A woman behind the counter said, "Hi, can I help you?" "My friend just moved to a new apartment," Nora said. "I want a plant that is easy to care for." The woman showed her 3 small plants, a cactus, a snake plant, and a pothos. Nora liked the pothos because its leaves were green with yellow lines. "It needs light, but not too much," the woman explained. Water it once a week. Nora bought the pothos, a simple white pot, and a card. On the card she wrote, "Welcome home." When she visited Sam that evening, they put the plant on a sunny shelf, where the light was bright but not too strong. Sam smiled. "It's perfect," he said. "I will try not to overwater it." They both laughed. The little plant made the room look brighter, and the new apartment felt more like home. Story 7. The Library Mystery. Lena loved quiet corners in libraries, especially the table near the window where winter sun warmed the wood. She borrowed a thin mystery novel and began to read. The writing was simple, but the story moved fast. A missing ring, a train ticket, a secret letter. After an hour, she turned a page and frowned. The next chapter didn't make sense. A new character appeared without introduction, and the ring was suddenly found. She flipped back and checked the page numbers. 52, 55. 2 pages were missing. Lena went to the desk and told the librarian, who looked surprised and apologetic. "We'll try to order a new copy," he said. "I really want to finish it," Lena replied. The librarian smiled. "Wait here." He returned with a small box. Inside was an old scanner and a spare copy of the same book. "This copy is too damaged to lend," he said, "but I can scan the missing pages for you." A few minutes later, 2 clear images arrived by email. Lena sat down again and read the missing part. The ending wasn't perfect, but the librarian's help was. She left a note in the suggestion box. "This library solves mysteries too." Story 8. The Weekend Market. Every Saturday, the old parking lot turned into a weekend market. Lena and her cousin Marco arrived early, carrying cloth bags. At the first stall, a farmer offered slices of sweet peach. Next, a baker sold warm bread and small tarts with lemon cream. A woman at a spice table let them smell jars of cinnamon and cardamom. "Try this tea," she said, pouring a small cup. The market map showed music at noon, so they circled the stage area. A guitarist was tuning his instrument near a row of food trucks. Lena wanted to buy flowers but didn't know which kind. The florist asked, "What is the gift for?" "A friend's new job," Lena said. "Something bright." The florist made a small bouquet with orange and yellow flowers. They sat on a bench, shared a tart, and watched a family dance to the music. On their way out, a volunteer gave them a flyer with next month's dates and a coupon. The bags felt heavy by the end, but the afternoon felt light. The end.